Morning folks, welcome to Sunday morning, day 8 of the Horners Coast to Coast. I've just drawn back my curtains. I'm here in the Reeth Lodge, absolutely lovely place by the way. We're high up on the Pennine Way. I've just been greeted by what looks like a very, very misty day. Just looked at the weather forecast as well, it's not looking good today. Anyway, first of all, breakfast, I've ordered porridge this morning. And the food last night was excellent, so I'm looking forward to my breakfast, to be honest. Morning again folks, Horners here. I've just left Reeth Lodge where I stayed last night. Really lovely place, really nicely done. Just kind of sleeps 10 people, but very specifically catering for the walking trade. There was 8 of us last night, including Ali, who didn't stay over but had dinner. We all just ate at a table. There was a couple from London, a couple of medics who were doing the last stage of the Pennine Way, which they've been doing in chunks. There was a couple of blokes who were just trying to, from sort of North Wales, who were just sort of getting away from their wives for the weekend and doing a bit of walking. And there was a retired couple from Manhattan who were doing something called the Ales and Dales, which definitely sounded more up my street. Anyway, everyone's gone now. It's about 9:45. Visibility is minimal again, and there is a bit of weather around. It's sort of mizzling a little bit, but I'm going to leave the coat off for the time being because it's still quite warm. Anyway, this morning I'm just going to join the Pennine Way, which is literally about 50 yards that way. Turn left, head back down sort of some of that hill we climbed last night, and rejoin the coast to coast just outside of Keld. And I'm going to split the walk in two today. Ali'd identified a pub called, I think it's the King's Head in Gunnerside. I'm hoping to make it there for about 12 o'clock, maybe 12:30, and hopefully score myself a roast dinner. I'm in a youth hostel at Grinton tonight, which is a bit beyond where I'm walking to, so it would be nice to get a big lunch inside me. Okay, see you a bit later. Right, you see lovely non-views all around me. Anyway, I just passed my first punter of the day. I'm about a kilometre in on the Pennine Way. Just had a really interesting conversation about the merits of wearing fell running shoes as opposed to traditional walking boots with an equally dull bloke. Talking of the feet, they're bearing up, but they are stained brown from being in the peaty water on the bog yesterday. And in fact, all of the water coming out the hotel taps was also fairly dark shade of brown, which is normal apparently. They treat their own water, but it's brown, which is a bit disconcerting. My knee, however, is really giving me jip this morning. My brother-in-law Dickie kindly dropped like a knee support, knee brace thing off last night when he came to pick Ali up. It was also nice to see two of my nieces, by the way. But it's really, really knacking this morning, that knee. Just popped a couple of Nurofen, and hopefully there won't be too much descending today, because that's what really gets it the worst. Right, just about dropped down below the cloud line now. In front of me, that is the River Swale. I'm going to be following that for at least the first half of the walk today. The lower route apparently is a nice sort of gentle meander alongside the sort of riverbank for a couple of hours. So looking forward to that, but it's quite nice just to hear it gurgling away down in the valley there. Bit of a better view of the way we're heading. That's the Swale Valley there. River's a bit further below us than it looks here, but hopefully I'll reach the bottom of the valley pretty soon, because the leg's still absolutely killing me. There you go, you can see the brown colour of the water coming down this drop. It's like that all the way around here. Right, rain has moved in quicker than expected this morning. But I'm getting quicker at switching all the kit around, so that's progress. And I've got the raincoat on my pack as well, which is a handy little feature of this particular piece of kit. There's a view back down the valley. I think that is the top where the Pennine Way goes, where I came down off about an hour and a half ago. Rain's getting heavier. And here you can see I'm right down by the River Swale here. River Swale empties into the I'm not sure you can pronounce it actually, which itself goes into the Ouse, which of course is the river that the city of York had to resist the urge to go across that very postman pat-like bridge. You can see the water, the river's already significantly deeper and wider when you come about a couple of miles. But basically now this is just a sort of gentle Sunday morning walk, albeit with a heavily strapped knee. I'm just about to come into the hamlet of Ivlet, and then it's about 20 minutes further on to Dunnaside, and I'm going to try and find some Sunday lunch, it being Sunday. Right, so I've arrived at the village of Dunnaside. It feels like I've just walked onto the set, or possibly all creatures. I've just located the objective of my desire, the King's Head Public House. Let's hope that they've got a spare table for me. It's about 12:30 Sunday lunchtime. Right, you find me ensconced in the public bar of the King's Head. Black sheep on cask, it's delicious. I'm about to order the roast beef and Yorkshire pudding. Okay, just polished off a very acceptable, more than acceptable plate of roast beef and Yorkshire pudding with all the trimmings. It was really, really nice. Pub Sunday lunch. And people who know me will know I'm sort of hypercritical when I have my Sunday dinner out. Now, the keener-eyed viewer will notice that I'm now the proud owner of a pair of walking poles. I was just chatting to the landlady, the barmaid, and basically she's allowed me to select a pair. They're not a pair, they're an odd pair, but she's allowed me to select some effectively from their lost property. So I've got a freebie pair of walking poles which I'm hoping are going to help me with this knee. And in fact the money saved has more than paid for my lunch and pints, so in a very good mood right now. Right, it's been chucking it down. It's been like over an hour, about an hour and a quarter since lunch, and it has not stopped hammering it down. I'm very, very wet now and very fed up. I'm still a good hour and a half away from where I need to get to. Right, I've just bowled into downtown Reeth. Happily, there's 3 or 4 pubs in this village by the looks of it. I'm outside the Bull, and I may well pop in a moment. It's not stopped raining since I left, since I had my lunch. It's now like 5:15, 5:20, something like that. Reeth is the sort of destination for today's walk, but I'm staying in the youth hostel, which is another couple of clicks on, so I might just have a quick shandy just to propel me the final sort of 40 minutes or so. Yeah, miserable. It was raining and it's just got heavier and heavier all afternoon. Really, really grim, really shit afternoon, to be honest. Right, that might have been one of the most savvy pub visits ever. When I got in the Australian lady and her daughter, who I'd mentioned previously, was sat by the fire. They invited me to join them, so I've just sat by a fire for half an hour and I'm feeling a lot better in terms of wetness wise. I had a nice pint of Boltmaker, but what's even better, the table next to me overheard me talking about having to walk on up to find this youth hostel, and they're actually staying there and they've got a car, so they're going to run me up there once they finish their pint. Cheers. Oh, I forgot, the other weird thing is, so the Australians are Kirsten and Emma. Kirsten's the mum. She used to live on Manor Way in Beckenham, and she was a barmaid in the George. Lives in Sydney now, has lived in Sydney most of her adult life. What a small world. Right, good evening folks. You find me in the Bridge Inn in Grinton. Dave and Jean, as they turned out to be called, deposited me up at the youth hostel, about 5 minutes up the road from here. And I've got a lot of my wet stuffs now hanging in their drying room, which is like a sauna, so fingers crossed that will all be dried out by the morning. Just rolled in here, sat down by the fire. It's another pub with a nice fire. And Derek from Utrecht was sat here eating his dinner, so he's kindly invited me to join him. He's had a a good day too. He's actually staying above here. So scampi and chips incoming. I'll catch you all later. So opted for the scampi and chips in the end, and it was absolutely superb. Homemade tartar sauce, and better still, the chips were homemade and made such a difference. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm now drying my shoes in front of a real fire, just have a nice smoky flavour to them come tomorrow. Right, that's a wrap for Coast to Coast. I think we're on day 8. I've had a lovely tea. It's still hosing it down outside. It's about 10 o'clock. I can't see another log going on this fire. Everyone else has left the pub and the guy wants to get home. In terms of stats and thoughts for the day, 26k. Since when did 26k become an easy day? Certainly it's all relative. And again, there was quite a lot of elevation gain, quite a lot of climbing, albeit it was subtle. Definitely a day of two halves. I mean, this morning, walking along the swale was, although it was cloudy on the tops, it was nice and easy. It felt very pastoral, felt like a Sunday, typical Sunday morning stroll. After having a nice lunch, it then completely just deteriorated, almost like minute by minute, and I ended up getting into Reeth like a drowned rat. So it's been a mixed day, but I am a glass half full kind of guy, and so we'll take the positives. Particularly getting my free set of walking poles, that was a touch, and also a lift up to the youth hostel from the main village, Reeth. That's it. I'm off to brave the elements again. Thank you for watching my channel. I'll see you on the next one.